What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the show. As you can tell by the thumbnail and the title, uh, it's getting real over there in California right now. The protests running rampant, crime, the violence, defiance, whatever you want to call it, it's getting much worse. People are getting injured left and right. They're burning a lot of shit. They're destroying a lot of shit. Um, they're attacking ICE. They're attacking all the Leos. They're attacking the National Guard that's over there, and they're going to get very upset when they actually start firing real rounds instead of the dummy rounds or the little rubber bullets. It's going to get really bad really quick. I don't understand why they're still protesting. You could protest, your First Amendment right. However, do it peacefully. You're not doing it peacefully. You're creating chaos, and so the harder you fight, the harder they're going to fight. It's not going to change anything. Have we learned nothing for the past, couple years of being defiant about how we protest? You start destroying people's shit, they're gonna come at you. But yeah, especially if you start come to a country, you start waving your flag in defiance of what's actually law. What do you expect to happen?
How can you lack so much compassion? What if your mom, your dad, was immediately just taken from you as a white person, as a black person, as anyone? How how can you just accept that? This is not fuck, bro. This is so unreal, and how can people just lack compassion? How? Why can't
It's not the fact that they lack compassion. It's the fact that you committed a crime as your first act of coming to the states. It's not a color thing. It's not a black, white, Asian, or other. They're looking at it as a legal standpoint.
you just imagine yourself just waking up one day with your family not there anymore? So LA businesses are getting raided by ICE, or some people that are wearing stuff that says ICE on it with their faces all covered up. People are getting ran over. Shots are being literally fired, literally. And this is supposed to be life right now.
This is what you guys created, though. You know, yes, people are getting taken from their jobs, places of business, if they're not in legal status. What you expect to happen, and you guys trying to help them out, you're just actually making it worse for them and for yourselves and for everybody around you. I don't see why people don't understand that. All you have to do is just go back in history, look at all the times that people defied the government. I know the government isn't always the greatest, but however, when it's working right, it's actually working pretty good.
We're not going to get treated like humans because they don't see us like humans. They lack compassion. How can you lack compassion? How? I understand that you're trying to get criminals out. Why are you going to workplaces where people are just trying to work?
Because the criminals are hiding amongst the regular workers.
That doesn't make sense.
But that's the end of that. Let's see what these comments have to say. The law is the law. As a black person, where do y'all be when it was us? Exactly. Don't bring up blacks in this. Yeah, sorry. They'll bring blacks up in this. We was the first ones they came for. 400 plus years we've done that. We're citizens. We're here. The only flag we fly is the U.S. because we don't know any other flag. After 3 generations being removed from whatever country or culture you came from, you're no longer considered of that culture anymore. You have assimilated into the culture that you're in. We as black people are minding our business. This is not our fight. As a black person, this has been going on for 400 years. We told you the police scanned the slave catchers. You didn't care because we were focused on us. What's happened to you is just your turn, basically. Just tiny break for the black people. Compassion's Day was on November at the polls. Yep, you get what you voted for. We won the war. This is America, and we are a nation of laws. The law is the law. If Mexico would do the same. No one is above the law. That's funny. It's all over the place. Black, what did we do? We voted for help. The black community tried to tell y'all it was nothing to do with empathy and compassion. You made your decision without empathy and compassion for the black community. You guys will be okay. Yeah. The ones that are obeying the law, no issues. All day, every day. You walk the streets, No need to be worried. You know, Lake and Raleigh, Rachel Morin. You know, a lot of you guys came over here that were illegal, committed crimes. You know, R-wording people. You know, deleting people. So they're going after those guys, and if you had to be grouped in with them, they take the whole lot that's there. So, oh well, sorry.
You're running us over, you're shooting us, all because of the color of our skin.
Nope, not the cover skin, your criminal activity, and your legal status. If you're here illegally and you're a criminal, you're gonna go. She's doing all this all while having the Mexican flag in her background. You know, if you come over here, start flying the flag that you're at. I've never seen the people. They want to escape tyranny so bad, oppression so bad, drugs and crime so bad. They come over here and still try to practice what they were once doing over there. That's not going to happen. This is the States. You know, compassion only goes so far until it's time to get to work and start abiding by the law, you know?
All because we have culture, we brought it here, and we are who we are, and we love it here, and we help people here. That's what we're known for. We help people, and yet we're getting terrorized. We're going through this. Our families are being our babies are literally being ripped from our hands.
Just like the other post said, it's just your turn. You know, obey the law. You know, like I can't speak for everyone in the black community or any other community for that matter. Everybody knows there are rotten apples, and no matter what community that you're from, white, black, Asian, Eastern Indian, Native American, even Africans. There's white folks from, you know, black folks that are here illegally also. Like, you know, everybody's coming to America to escape where they're from. But those that come here legally, there's no issue.
If someone could please tell me if there's something we can do if there's something we could do to help our people, please just imagine yourself in our situation. Imagine your people are being terrorized. They're being ran over. If you literally cannot have empathy for someone, I don't know what to tell you. You're an evil-ass human being, and you need help, and you need God. You have no heart, and hell, there's a special place in hell for you. Karma is real, and God will take care of them. This is so heartbreaking. I don't know what we could do to help. I feel so helpless. I just want to help with something. I just want this to end. I just want there to be peace like there was.
Well, tell them to quit burning shit. Quit waving their flags. Quit defying the law. Tell them.
There was peace. I just want that. That's all I want for us.
These comments. Black people tell y'all to stick with us. We got what we voted for. Latinos for Trump. US, 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 US. Black people have been saying this. Tupac was asking for help, excuse me, in the early 90s. Can you cry in Mexico? What community do you help? Because it sure heck wasn't the black community. Y'all assimilate with them just because of benefit and try to conquer and build your own into a powerhouse and not care in the world about others. Yep. It just goes on and on and on. America's nothing without Mexicans. I'm Hispanic. I'm here legally. If you would do the same, there'd be no problem. Bro, I'm Mexican. Haven't had a word once. Hispanic here for Trump. Law is the law. How you feel? You know, how we fought for 400 years. It's never about following law. Straight racism. Is it though? Welcome to our world. Sincerely, a 92%er. We try to tell your people to vote for Kamala. Mexicans are nonviolent. Remember Emilio Zapata? And wipe your tears, mija. They didn't see that. Illegal is illegal. No one is above the law. How does skin color have anything to do with deportations? That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're here illegally, you broke the law to get here. What do you expect to happen? The more you fight, the harder they're going to fight. See, stuff like this is why they're fighting. This is why ICE would never stop. This is why the National Guard is there. This is what fuels them. You know, this is what will fuel me. Because I remember doing stuff like, well, not like this, but I was on the other side. The peace, not the protesters, but, just like the guys dressed up in civil disturbance riot uniform because of stuff like this. I remember doing that in Panama, Honduras, even Iraq, civil unrest. We had to come in and stop it. So what do you expect to happen? That's crazy. What was
We
it?
don't want to hear about.
Yeah, but this is what's going on right now. It's like an act of war. Check it out. Let's see what these comments have to say. He loves Mexico much that he refuses to leave America. Nobody supports Mexico more than the ones who are fleeing from it. Exactly. They try so hard to come over here, and then right when they get over here, they want to support it so much. I'm like, you were just escaping to come over here to want to be in the U.S., and then that's the first thing you grab is your Mexican flag. Like I said, you could honor your country, you could be proud of where you're from, but when you go to another country, you don't do that. They don't do it in other countries. When they do that, civil unrest. Fly another country flag on American soil while committing acts of violence. I say that's an act of war. Exactly. California is the worst state in America. Raising the flag of a country that you would rather go to jail and return to. This is an invasion, committing acts of violence under the flag of a foreign nation. Wants to stay in America with a Mexican flag. Yep, this goes on and on about this stuff. Peaceful, right? Democrats. This just goes on and on and on. Joe Biden's America, law and order. Yep, yeah, the disrespect. This is not okay. It's all the same thing. People, you come here so you try to avoid where you're from, your tyranny, being oppressed by, the drug culture, whatever crooked government you have, just come over here and do the same exact thing. But this time you don't here illegally as your first act of coming to the States. I never understood that. But that's my thoughts. That's my opinion on it. Let me know about your thoughts down in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, give me a thumbs up, and I'll catch you next video. Peace.